You'd think that making 6 or even 7 figures would eliminate financial stress, right? Yet somehow, I sit across from successful families every week, business owners, executives, professionals with big portfolios, and unfortunately, I see the same pattern over and over and over again. They're losing sleep over money. They're anxious about the future. They feel behind, overwhelmed, and somehow they're never quite secure enough despite all of their many successes. My name is Cole Leonida. I'm a certified financial planner and a certified kingdom advisor at John Moore Associates. And after working with hundreds of Christian families, I can tell you that financial stress at this level isn't about the size of your bank account. It's about something much deeper. Today, I'm going to reveal why most high-income families feel financially stressed even when they have more than enough, and more importantly, what you can do to finally break free from this exhausting cycle. Because here's what I've learned. The families who find true financial peace aren't necessarily the wealthiest ones. They're the ones who understand what's really driving their stress and have taken specific steps to address it. Here's my number one observation about the folks that are feeling that stress and anxiety around money. The comparison trap. It comes for all of us. Does this sound familiar? Your income doubles, but somehow you feel poorer than you did before. You bought that new house in the nice neighborhood, and yet you somehow feel like you're going without more than ever before. Everyone seems to have more than you. The nicer car, the bigger house, the better school for the kids. It just gets exhausting. Keeping up with the Joneses is a big problem. There seems to be a moving target with the word enough on it, and it just continues to ratchet higher and higher and higher. It started at, I just need $1 million, then I can retire, then I'll be content, then I'll be happy, I'll be secure. But that 1 million eventually becomes 2 million. The 2 becomes 5, the 5 becomes 10. When is enough? Enough. Ron Blue with Kingdom Advisors always says that the number one question we need to ask as Christian financial advisors of our clients is how much is enough? 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12 warns about the foolishness of comparison. Don't fall into that trap. The second observation that I have is that there's oftentimes a high level of complexity with a low level of clarity. How many investment accounts do you have? Really, think about it. All the 401ks, the IRAs, the taxable accounts, the trust account, the joint account, the accounts for the kids, the 529 plans, the UTMAs, the bank accounts, the savings accounts, the high yield savings accounts. How many accounts are out there? Can you explain your tax strategy in just a couple of sentences? Do you know what it is you're trying to accomplish? When did you last update your estate documents? Better yet, do you know what is in your estate documents? Real problems can create complexity. Multiple advisors are needed to solve certain problems, but are they communicating? Is there someone playing quarterback? Have you ever been surprised with your tax bills? Have you been shocked at the size of your quarterlies? Do your business finances and your personal finances kind of get intertwined and the line between them seems to blur? You know that nagging feeling that you're just missing something? Gosh, there was something important I was supposed to do, a bill I should have paid, or something I was supposed to sign. The bottom line is, all of this can take a long time to analyze and understand. Because here's the problem. Complexity can be something that is just common when you're of a certain income level, a certain net worth level. But when complexity leads to confusion, that equals chaos. Complexity combined with clarity leads to confidence and contentment. Now, before we talk about the path forward, I want to be very clear about something. If you're experiencing this kind of financial stress despite all of your success, you are really not alone. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. At John Moore Associates, we specialize in helping successful Christian families find clarity and peace in their finances. We start with understanding your heart and your values. Then we build a comprehensive plan that addresses not just your investments, but your taxes, your estate, your giving, and everything that keeps you up at night. We can't work with everyone, but if you and your family have over $500,000 to invest and want to align your wealth with your faith, you might be exactly who we're designed to serve. I'd encourage you to visit johnmoore.com to learn more about our approach. Now anyways, let's get back into the topic at hand. Now, the third observation that I see is that the burden of stewardship can be heavy, especially when you lack direction. There's times where feeling that weight of managing God's resources can really hit home. There can be so many questions that are keeping you up at night. Am I living too extravagantly? Am I living too cheaply? Am I okay to buy that house or that car? Is it okay to buy that gift? Am I giving too much to my children? Am I not giving them enough? How much is enough for me? How much should I leave my children? These are all heavy questions that are more than just money questions. These are heart questions. They're spiritual questions. These should be questions that should be addressed first and foremost in prayer. Bring these questions to the Lord. He should be your number one financial advisor. Do you ever have questions about whether or not you're giving enough? Is it really 10%? Is that what I should be giving? Or God, do you call me to give more? What kind of sacrifice would you call me to give? There's guilt that oftentimes comes with abundance, especially when it's first generation wealth or sudden wealth. That weight can be debilitating. You may be wanting to be generous, but you just don't know if that's wise. What if I run out? Do I really have enough? These things are real, and not everybody can relate, but you successful Christians can relate to this. I'm certain of it. The fourth observation that I see is that there can be great success, but no successor planning. You might have built something significant for you business owners, but what's next? Your business might completely depend on you. It could be like your firstborn child. You might have 3 kids, but you started your business first, and that is one of your babies. Well, first, is your identity wrapped up in your business, or do you find your identity in Christ? A lot of times that can be much easier said than done to make sure that your identity is found in the right place. But then who's going to take that over when you walk away? Does your family really understand the finances? Do you have an exit strategy to your business or to your career? What does that look like? How do you want to slow down? If you retire, what are you retiring to, and how do you do that successfully? Moving on to the next stage of life, whether it be retirement or selling a business, can lead to that identity crisis. It can feel like there's something missing in your life. And if we don't know what we're going to next, and if we don't know who is there for us, Jesus, we can have a really hard time with that transition. And of course, there's decisions that have to be made from a quantitative perspective in terms of tax implications that might be keeping you trapped in your job. They might be keeping you trapped in that business that you'd like to be done with. Maybe your fear of losing control of something might be keeping you where God doesn't want you anymore. Don't make him kick you out the door. Come to him faithfully in prayer and ask for guidance, direction, so that you can experience true clarity in the next steps. So my number 5 observation is that financial peace is a path, and it doesn't always start with Dave Ramsey's university. In fact, your path to financial peace starts with your purpose, with your calling. That is what you need to start with. You need to define that for your family. That'll help you define what is enough. What does that really mean for you, for your spouse, and for your children? Don't look around the neighborhood. Don't look for what society says. We know that that is fleeting. Don't worry about what your peers have. This is a discussion that should be done on your knees in front of the cross. What would God call you to do with your resources in your life, and how would you glorify and honor him with that little slice of his portfolio that you're stewarding? It's important along the way to build systems that help you keep this all in the regular flow of life. Are you reviewing your goals, your values, your mission as a family? Are you looking at your finances on a regular basis? Are you paying attention to where you're spending, to where you're giving, to what's coming in, to what's going out? These are all hard questions, especially when there's lots of dollars flying around. And you'll want to make sure that you have a unified team approach amongst your advisors. Your advisory team should include a financial advisor or financial planner like a JMA advisor. It should include a tax advisor like a CPA, and most certainly it should have an attorney, an estate planning attorney. Now, there might be other members of your team. There could be an insurance professional, there could be a business attorney, there could be a tax attorney, there can be other members, but those first 3, the financial planner, the CPA, and the estate planning attorney, are key components to your financial team. Look, I've given you a lot to think about here, some of which you may have thought about before, others maybe not, but here's what matters most if you don't take away anything else. Financial stress at your income level isn't really about money. It's about your heart. It's most likely also about the absence of a clear and purposeful plan that aligns with your values and making things simpler, not more complex. The good news is that every source of stress we discussed today has a solution. I've seen hundreds of families go from anxious to confident, from overwhelmed to organized, from guilty to generous, all because they finally got that right framework in place for them. At John Moore Associates, this is exactly what we do. We help successful Christian families create comprehensive financial plans that bring peace instead of stress, clarity instead of confusion, and purpose instead of pressure. If you're ready to finally address the real sources of your financial stress, visit johnmoore.com or click the link in the description below to schedule a complimentary consultation. We'll start by understanding your unique situation and showing you a path toward the financial peace you've been looking for. Thank you so much for watching, and if this resonated with you, please subscribe to our channel for more content designed specifically for successful Christian families like yours.